And so on. Hello, this is Kenny Lee Burgess. What I thought I would do today is kind of sit around and do a little bit of woodshedding. And what I mean by that is I'd kind of walk you through a song and give you some ideas. Now, if you've been working on CD1, how to play 6-string guitar in open D tuning, I'm sure you're going to find this material very familiar, but it's going to give you new ideas how to work out a song. Now on the CD I present 3 basic ways how to do a 12-bar blues progression. The first was using the shuffle rhythm. The second way is kind of like a walking bass line. And then the third way was to kind of use finger picking, where you'd play the bass with your thumb, either a single bass or an alternating bass, and then you pick out treble notes with your fingers. Now if you notice, I'm not in open D tuning. I have this guitar tuned down a whole step to the key of C, so I'm C, G, C, E, G, C. And that's for my voice usually, and also with these older guitars it's much easier to tune down. So the point of this lesson is, instead of playing the shuffle rhythm or the walking bass or the finger picking throughout the whole 12-bar blues progression, you could mix and match and switch between them and kind of do what you want. So I'm going to start this progression kind of like Jimi Hendrix's Red House, where he uses the first 4 bars as the introduction. And it's going to sound like this. So the trick is to keep the timing right, because you have 4 bars and each bar has to have 4 beats. So you're trying to fill up the time correctly, so when you go to the next chord at the 5th fret there, you hit it right on the time perfectly. So what I'm doing is, on bars 1 and 2 and also on beat 1 of bar 3, I'm using that interval on strings 3 and 1. And if you remember, we used that in some turnarounds, and I'm playing it as triplets. So you probably remember that. Now of course then, like I said, it ends on bar 3, beat 1. Okay, so now when we're in bar 3, we have to figure out how to fill up 3 more beats. So I'm up at the 12th fret and I'm simply doing this. Okay, so then I end up on bar 4 and I have to do 4 beats. Now to kind of make an illusion of speed, I play it in triplets, and the triplets are going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, boom, and then you're right on the next chord. Simply all I'm using is the pentatonic blues scale on the 1st string. On bars 5 and 6, we're playing the 4 chord. end up back on the 1 chord. And I'm just playing the shuffle rhythm and the walking bass. Now, the next 2 bars, we're going to be back on the 1 chord. And I'm going to play a little fill-in lick here using the interval on strings 3 and 2 at the 3rd fret. And I'm going to play them in triplets like this. Play 3 of those, and then a little fill-in lick. And that fill-in lick is the 1st string, 1st fret, I'm pulling off, and then I'm playing the 4th string open. So that sounds like this. Now I'm going to go up. I got 1 more bar. I'm going to go up to the 10th fret and play with the slide, but then I'm going to use this little fill-in lick here on the first 2 strings, a little interval right there, 7 and 8. That's a great one. You got to use that for a lot of stuff. So the whole thing will sound like this, those 2 bars. Okay, one more time. And now we come to the 5 chord. All I'm simply doing is walking into it and then picking out some notes to keep in time. And instead of going to the 4 chord, I play a little fill-in lick on the 1st string at the 3rd fret. And I'm sliding on there on the 5th string, 3rd fret. And again, I'm using that nice typical turnaround on strings 5 and 3, that little interval. Ending back on the 5 chord. Now, a little thing about timing. When you play in a band, say with another guitarist, a vocalist, and a drummer, you need to keep the time tight. So it gives the song dry, but everybody knows when the chords are changing. When you're playing the guitar by yourself, solo, yeah, you could kind of play around with the time a little bit, and you could add some notes and extend some measures, and maybe that's a good thing because it kind of gives the song some breath and some feeling to it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I think you'll find this kind of useful if you start to take the information that you learned from CD1 and play around with it. You know, you got those 3 basic chords that are going around. You don't have to keep shuffling. You know, you can mix and match and play lead lines and do call and responses. So experiment around and come up with some really tasty ideas. Enjoy your practice.